I had the great idea to wake up early one day and go walk 100,000 steps without any practice or training. I got the idea from this Medium blog that referred to this blog that referred to this video. They did it, I can do too. Thanks to Whitsunday, I had a 3-day weekend. The weather was going to be dry and warm, so I thought, okay, let's do this on this day. My preparations were absolutely minimal. I highly underestimated the physical levels of fitness it would take to walk such distances in one day. And this was a mistake. I'm in my early 30s. I consider myself to be reasonably fit. I do yoga, dance practice. I walk 3 to 5k steps a day, which isn't that much, but all I'd need to do is start walking and not stop. How hard can that be? This is what I did to prepare for the ultra hike. Bring food and water. Wear lightweight sports clothes and shoes. Only. A few hours in, I knew I was going to be soaking wet, dripping in sweat, and eventually I would probably want to change my socks, maybe my shirt. There was a slight chance of rain, so I brought along my functional jacket, just in case. I fully charged my devices. This included my smartphone, GoPro, and I took 3 fully charged batteries for the GoPro with me. I internalized the route. Running out of phone battery in the middle of the forest would be something I prefer to prevent. I saved screenshots of the route. I tried to use the phone as little as possible in general, apart from the hourly-ish photo and video for later reference, which I'm using to make the video you are watching right now. Grabbing the laptop. Let's do some advanced maths. On average, there are 1,515 steps in 1 kilometer for women. 100,000 steps divided by 1,515 is 66 kilometers, the length of an ultra race. If I walk 5k steps, that's around 3.3 kilometers per day. And to complete this 100,000 steps in 24 hours challenge, I would have to 20x my daily step count. Piece of cake! So, here's how it went. The day before I got overly excited, ruminated, overplanned, I couldn't sleep, and I was so smart to drink a cup of coffee in the late afternoon, resulting in me being awake throughout the night. That was not good. I got a whole 3 hours and 45 minutes of sleep the day before a big fitness challenge. I left the house around 9-ish a.m. The first 2 hours were all fun. I was shooting pictures, taking little clips at each and every corner I passed. One and a half hours in, I had 8k steps under my belt, which is not too shabby.
Wie viele Schritte nochmal?
100.000.
100.000.
Ja, also das habe ich vor.
Wow.
Kommst du mit, kleine Katze?
Er heißt Malik. Er versteht seinen Namen. Du kannst ihn rufen, dann wird er wahrscheinlich auch reingucken.
Malik.
Oh.
The route I took was from East Berlin all the way down to Potsdam. I had never been to Potsdam before, so I thought, why not? I deliberately picked a simple-ish route, or one where I'd know how about to walk without constantly having to look at a map. Most of the route was just walking straight ahead, all the way down on the map. I'd walk there, proudly shoot some pictures in front of Sanssouci Palace, and then walk all the way back because that would cover the total steps count I would need. The only thing is, this is not exactly around the corner. People visit Potsdam, but they take the car or the train. They don't freaking walk there like I did. Further down the road, I had lunch at a bakery. Sat here for 20 minutes. Around 1 p.m. I had only walked around 15k steps. I needed to pick up the pace, but my legs were already starting to ache. We are now 5+ hours in. My quads were tightening up, my feet were aching, my joints felt like they were getting stabbed at every step. Everything was flaring up and I started to feel pain. Once the street signs started mentioning Potsdam, my motivation spiked because I felt like I was getting closer. I was, but slowly. I reached the German Autobahn, but I wasn't sure how to continue walking. So I checked Google Maps. I still had 2 hours to go. 2 damn hours. Down I went into the tunnel for pedestrians and cyclists. I made it to Wannsee after 20-ish kilometers or 12 miles. I had now reached a long stretch of forest, and after the forest I would reach Potsdam, finally. So that picture I had constructed in my mind of proudly reaching Sanssouci Palace and posing to take some pictures in front of it, that never happened because I never made it there. I did make it to Potsdam, but I had already slowed down a lot. My muscles were cramping up, I could barely walk, my legs, they were hurting, inflamed, but I ignored the pain because gotta stay hard! I had a food break at the first beer garden that was open that I saw. I got myself a glass of Fanta, a jacket potato, and this never tasted so good. Sitting here, I asked myself, shall I continue? Will this pain be permanent? Do I ignore the discomfort and just keep going? Checking the time, I realized it would not be doable at all. By now, it was already 4:30 p.m. I had only gotten 33,000 steps in, and this took me 7.5 hours, breaks included. I have very limited hours to cover the remaining 67 steps to make it to 100k, which is not possible looking at the pace I was already going at, which was super slow. The steps timer resets at midnight, and that would piss me off. I learned the hard way. I should have started earlier. I called it a day and just took the train back home. Final verdict. I left the house at 9 a.m. I had walked nearly 35k steps and had covered 15 miles or 24 kilometers. I had burned 600 calories. I ate 1 banana, drank 1.5 liters of water, ate 1 sandwich, another banana and a coconut smoothie. And I slept 3 hours and 45 minutes. Overall, my preparations for this challenge were absolutely. It was yet another confirmation that I do need to plan out larger scale undertakings a little bit. I can't just go and jump into 3-month-long injuries because that is something I was left with after the challenge. Right, next time on the channel, 18 tips you should take into account when attempting to walk 100,000 steps in one day. Thanks for watching and see you, maybe or not. Bye!